Welcome to Random and Desperate. Now, this podcast, I'm going to open it up for everyone. This is going to be put on my YouTube channel as well. Hopefully, that you like what you hear. You like listening to Random and Desperate. And if you are a fan of the channel, of this YouTube adventures, what I do up around the country, and the person what I am, you will find all these podcasts on Patreon, and I release one of these every single Tuesday, and we can talk about multiple topics about mental health, about life in general, and I also get really personal on these blogs as well, so you would know what kind of person I am by listening to these blogs. So I would like to welcome everyone. If you've not heard my, let's just say, my podcast before, welcome to Random and Desperate's podcast. And I hope you enjoy it and I hope you like it. Now, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about the life of being a YouTuber. What's it like being a YouTuber? The positives, the negatives, and what we do on a day-to-day basis, and how we started the journey, and will this journey ever end, and what we go through on a regular thing, how we think, how we feel about the negative comments we get, and some of the publicity what portrays being a YouTuber. So first, I want to introduce myself, which you'll probably know. My name is Random. I like being called Random, to be honest with you. I made this name, Random and Desperate, random because my videos, my adventures, my stories are completely random. Now, the desperate part, always people say, why are you called desperate? Are you looking for a local hottie in the streets of the UK? Are you desperate to see a certain person in your life? Or are you just desperate and you just go out and, let's just say, dump your load to find anyone? Well, the desperate part is that what I mean about being desperate is, as a content creator, as a man, life sometimes can be really challenging, and sometimes we all get to that point in our life where we do get desperate. We do want attention. We do want a little adventure, and that's why I've come up with this name, Random and Desperate. It originally wasn't called that. Years ago, 5 years ago, I was a bus driver working full time, and I made the decision to go part time so I could look after my children, which is, let's just say, a different story. So I went part time as an Uber driver, as a taxi driver, as a private operator. So the original idea was to be an Uber, to be a taxi driver in the daytime, so I could take my kids to school and then pick them up in the evening and be there for them. And did it work to plan? Uber was absolutely, let's just say, diabolical to work for. But it introduced me, it made me into a creator. And it was something what I never really thought of until I started being this taxi driver. So I started filming myself, how to get a license, what I went through on a today basis. And I got over 1,000 subs. And that was absolutely amazing by connecting with people I don't know. And it gave me the joy, the bug of being a content creator. And then after I went through a dark time in my life, when my marriage broke down, I give myself a bit of a break where I need to reset. I need to repair the damage, what's happened to me in, let's just say, my life experience. And I didn't do any videos for around about 3 or 4 years. And then suddenly I got some inspiration to start to portray this YouTube adventure again. And I changed my name to Random and Desperate. Basically, it was a single man going around the streets of the UK doing what guys do, getting drunk, doing an adventure. And I must admit, at first, it was a bit challenging walking around the streets of the UK, filming myself, talking complete bollocks for 20 minutes, trying to figure out certain histories of the area, explaining how I think and feel about certain situations, finding the history of places, and I really did enjoy it. And then I went to Blackpool, and that's when it really took off. Because there's something about Blackpool, I don't know what it is, but it really connected with YouTube. I stopped in a coastal collection, this beautiful luxurious terraced house, and it was the winter time, remember rightly, and I was walking around the streets of Blackpool, filming myself, just talking about general stuff, as well as the pub crawl, which give me the idea, which are really successful. My pub crawls and my B&Bs are really successful, and a lot of people connect with that. But what's it really, really like to be a YouTuber, to feel and to go through the experience what we do? Now, if you want to be a YouTuber, you got to let yourself be absolutely personal and say things you shouldn't. You've got to do a lot of acting and create a character on a YouTube. Because if you just do the general stuff, people would find it boring. People like to connect with an interesting character, and I must be one of the interesting characters. What you've come across? Because I do some things what are totally different, what you don't see on YouTube. For example, pub crawls, me going to the toilet, talking about what's really important, which I have a passion for, mental health. Now, mental health is extremely important to me because in this country, I find it absolutely disgusting that mental health of the people of this country is in shatters. They're skint, they've got no money, they have relationship problems, and there's no help out there. It's all done by charities. But if you go to the doctors, where's the counsellors? Where's the people to guide you? Where's the people, what I call life experience, to guide you through the dark times? But mostly, when we have mental health issues, we rely on friends and relatives. But where the professionals? Because a lot of people, especially men between 40 and 60, the biggest killer in their age range is, let's just say, falling on your own sword. Where are the people? Where are the families to support this dark time, what people go through? And that's why I started YouTube, to be honest with you. I started my channel up because I wanted to connect with people again. I have been so lonely for so long after my divorce. I used to sit in my flat, play on my games. Yes, I had friends going to the pub, but I wanted more than that. I wanted a hobby, something what I was passionate about. And I remembered when I used to be an Uber driver, a lot of stuff on when I filmed myself, I really enjoyed doing it. So that's why I started it again. And I really have connected with a lot of people. Thank you to this YouTube adventure. Now, it is a lot of work, folks. It is a hell of a lot of work to make the video. The easiest way is when you go out there and you film yourself talking about whatever subject you want to talk about, doing these B&Bs adventures, going for drinks, or whatever your content is. That is the easiest part. It's extremely easy just to film, press that black button and talk about 15 to 20 minutes of any subject you want. Then it gets more difficult, the editing, which can be a nightmare. For example, if I did a 20-minute video, it would take me 2 to 3 hours to edit it and put it all together. And then you've got to download it to YouTube. And then after that, you've got to put your title in, your thumbnail, which is the picture, what you see. And then you've got to put the descriptions, put it on YouTube. And that's one video. Now, one video for a 20-minute video would take me probably between 4 and 8 hours to make just for a 20-minute video. Then you put it out there, and then you have to answer comments. Now, comments are a different kettle of fish. 90%, 95% of comments come from decent, supporting YouTubers, subscribers, which will make you comments all that will say how nice you are, or I really enjoyed that little adventure. Thank you for sharing. I get brilliant comments, super comments. I really like your videos. But you also get an element of people who are negative towards you, who will say really, really bad things to upset you. But the good thing about on YouTube is if you make some derogatory comment against me, or a personal comment, which I could find that offensive or really, really rude or bad, I've got a button what says block, and I can block you from ever saying a comment again. You can watch my videos, you can still follow my journeys, but you can't put a comment on my particular video. And I'll be honest, as soon as I read any bad comments, or really, I just press that button, which is the stop people making comments. Again, it's easy, it gets rid of the problem, and then they can't carry it on. But most of my fans are brilliant, to be honest with you. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, some of these comments where you get, especially the hateful ones, you always remember the hateful ones, not the really good ones, what say every single week, do sometimes affect you. You think, why are people saying nasty things about me? Yes, I am a certain character on YouTube, this random pervert who walks around the streets of the UK and the world looking for local hotties, so I can understand certain comments. Now, I don't mind if you're constructive with comments. Let's just say you have an opinion and you don't make it personal and nasty. I don't mind stuff like that. It's the really bad ones which I will block. And the other element of comments is when people watch you from day in, day out. I try to do about 3 videos per week, every single week. There is men, women who actually connect with you, and actually, which might sound weird, they fall for you, they fall in love with you. Some get obsessive with you, and they'll try and send you private messages. They'll try and write you letters, go on your Facebook and put all sorts of really, and I don't mind it, because some of the stuff what they put, it's absolutely lovely. It's saying things like, I really love you, random. You make some really good videos. I'd love to meet you one day. We should go for a drink. I don't mind stuff like that, but there's an element of people out there who, let's just say, fall for you, send you pictures, really interesting pictures of their axe wounds, of their sausages, and trying to tempt you to make contact. Now, I don't really bother with all that, to be honest with you. It's very hard to contact me privately because I've got to have an element of privacy. Because as a YouTuber, you open yourself up for, let's just say, interesting people to contact you. Well, all said and good, I did meet someone through YouTube. Thanks for this YouTube adventure. This lovely hottie, contact me, and we have a decent conversation on Messenger, and now I'm with her all the time now. She's absolutely a lovely girl. She looks after me, she cleans my house, she's really kind and thoughtful, and she's really good fun, and she likes and she encourages me to carry on this random and desperate adventure. And that's the main thing of why I really liked her, because I thought if I would meet someone, I would find it difficult for it to be random, because there's 2 sides of me. As a new content creator, you've got to see this as a hobby, or it's turned into a job now, where random is a certain personality, and Steve, which is my real name, is a different personality. So you've got to try and switch between both. And most people will like the random guy, but they don't really know the Steve guy. Now, what do I really think of YouTube. I do love it. I really enjoy it. I like going away for weekends, doing loads of videos, putting it out there, connecting with fans. It's a great hobby. The only thing what I struggle with is the cost of running it. Because if you can imagine, I've got a GoPro 11, which is £500. The hotels what I visit cost between a couple of hundred. The food, the drink, everything I film, the equipment, the editing equipment, what's involved. I think my tax year, because if I earn over £1,000, I have to a year I have to declare it to the tax man. So I've got to put all my receipts in and prove where all the money is going. I do earn over £1,000. My average income from YouTube, which I'll tell you, is between £4,000 and £7,000 a year. That's what I get paid for being a YouTuber. I get that is my revenue stream, but it costs a lot more to produce it. You're talking easy. Well, the last couple of years, you're talking £5,000 to actually make these videos. But now, because I'm getting bigger, I'm getting well known, it is starting to pay for itself. And the idea of this YouTube is not to make money, not to make profit, because I have a full-time job, so I don't need to. I'm not doing it for cash. I'm doing it for a hobby. Now, more revenue I get, more I plaster into the YouTube. So when I do my tax returns, it always will show I am making a loss, because I'm not doing it for profit. So I don't have to pay any tax or insurance or any extra charges. This is a hobby of mine. It relaxes me. It chills me out to turn into this random and desperate guy. But it is a lot of work, people. So if you are thinking of being a YouTuber, be prepared for the work. It's a full-time hobby, and that's what you've got to see it yourself as a hobby. If you're lucky enough where you can do 1 or 2 videos and it blows up when you're getting millions of views, then you could turn it into a full-time job. I'm not in that position. As we speak, I've got nearly 6,000 subscribers, and that pays between about 5 and 6 grand a year. So easiest way to guess is every 1,000 subscribers you get, you're going to get average about £1,000 a year. And how you make that money is through advertising revenue, which is when people watch videos, advertisements come on. I get a cut of that. I get 55% of that, and YouTube take 45%. I also have what's called a membership scheme, which as we speak now, I have 25 people who join this membership, which is through Google, and they pay me a percent, and they pay me anything between £1 to £9 a month. Remember, YouTube take a big cut of that, and that is I get about 50 a month through that one. And also I'm trying what's now is Patreon, where if you don't know what Patreon is, it's where fans can connect to you through a private network scheme, and with that you get things like podcast, which I'm doing now. I'm really enjoying doing these podcasts, to be honest with you. It's just talking through a device, uploading it once a week, and we could talk about different things. And it's anything between 15 minutes to an hour of me just yapping away. And that is behind a firewall. So if you are interested, go on my Patreon site, and there is lots of podcasts. And I get really personal as well. There's certain things what you don't know about me, what I can't put on YouTube, my thoughts and feelings, what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, and mental health, talk about life in general. It's absolutely great fun, but go and check it out. You can join for free, or you can join up for 7 days for free to listen more of these podcasts. But will I do this forever? Will I always be random and desperate? I don't know, to be honest with you, because sometimes, you probably guess through my videos, it does get a bit too much. It really does. It does get a lot. to do these videos, and the time, the effort, the pure amount of cash, what goes involved, and the pressures of modern day life, it can take its toll. It really can, people. So really think about it. Please, folks, don't do it for profit or fame, because you're not going to get there. You've got to do it as a hobby. It must have been in me too, let's just say, to do this, because I love it. It's great fun. I will never give this up. You can never say never, really, can you? But I will give myself a time in, let's just say, when events happen in my life, I will give it a break for a couple of months, but I will get back into it. I'll never truly give it up, because once you've got a hobby, whatever it is, it's like football, wrestling, knitting, whatever you're into, you can never give it up. It's part of you. It's a part of your existence. And this is mine, a YouTube game, the YouTube game. Now, a lot of people say, do you get recognised? I do now. I can go around the streets of Blackpool and people will come up to me and go, Random, can I take a picture? Can I give you a cuddle? Can I buy you a drink? And they ask me questions, and you've got to turn in this random dude. But you also get people that stare at us when you're walking around streets in the pub, where people just stare at you and they think to themselves, I know that person for somewhere, but they stare, and I don't like that. If you stare, just come up to me and say hi. I'm a really friendly person. We can have a chat, or do a selfie, or whatever. But don't stare. Just say hello, because I don't bite. I'm a genuinely a nice person to get along with. But this staring bit makes me a bit uneasy, to be honest with you. But anywhere you go, you do get recognised. That's a part of the YouTube game. I originally didn't, let's just say, I didn't really want to be a YouTuber for that particular reason. It was to help with my mental health, my connection. Hopefully, one day, my children, my two lovely girls, could watch these videos and see what they've missed in their lives with their dad. Because I used to have two beautiful little girls, and let's just say life got in the way, or life changed the dynamics of why I couldn't see. And there is a reason which I will not divulge into on public eye. I always wanted to be a dad, and when they were born, wow, it really changed me forever. It really did. But life happens. Relationships don't happen. Relationships come and they die, but they never die for, let's just say, family with your children. I'm not going to say too much, but girls, if you are watching, you know where I am, and I love you every single day, and I think about you every single day. And one day, hopefully soon, me and you can have a proper father-daughter relationship. Until that day comes, I will carry on living my life to the best of my ability. But you're always in my hearts and in my thoughts. And I have faith in the world that life will correct itself. And that's why I probably do YouTube, because hopefully them two little hearts are listening and watching Dad. Well, Random and Desperate, what a story, what an adventure. A very interesting time. And I never really thought I would get anywhere near the amount of subscribers what I do now. It was just a way to connect and help with my mental health, keeping myself busy. And it's getting bigger and bigger every day. Where will it go? Where will it end? That's up to you guys. It really is. Now, I hope you did enjoy this podcast with Random and Desperate. I do a lot more. I release one every Tuesday on Patreon. And if you want to listen to me more or listen to more of my, call it a voice, which that's all it is, come and join the adventure on Patreon. Now, I only release these podcasts on Patreon. I don't release them anywhere else. I've just put this one on YouTube so you can see what else I do as a content creator. I have a Facebook site, I have a Patreon, I have an YouTube, and they're the three platforms what I work on. The biggest one is YouTube, the videos, and Patreon. I really do enjoy this little podcasting game. It's absolutely great fun. It is talking about my thoughts and my feelings, and I get sometimes really personal. But it's up to you guys. You can support me any different way. You can carry on watching my videos on YouTube. You could join my membership scheme, go on my Facebook, or even now join me on a podcast and listen to me in bed, naked, alone. But that is the life of being a YouTuber. Is it good? Is it bad? It has its positives and its negatives like anything else in this world. But I enjoy it. As a whole, I enjoy it. Yes, you get some crazy people. You meet some lovely people. Like, for example, you get characters like Auntie Ethel, which is not a real name, and I'm not related to her. She's just a good friend of mine, which I've known for years. You get people like Nick, Popeye, and the Dirty Vicar, Cousin Rose, and also Captain Cow. There is so many people who join me on these adventures. Great fun. How do I pick these ventures? How do I do these little games? When do I pick? Well, I just pick them randomly. Every month I go away for a weekend or a week, do loads of films, and it takes me over a month to put it all out there. All out there. Now, let me just say, I'm recording this in my bedroom, in the double bed, and I've got a doggy right next to me. And she's like a small lassie kind of dog. She's kept me company for this podcast. Be very quiet and having a good cuddle. But if you want to hear more of these podcasts, or if you want to hear more of me talking about life in general, mental health, personal stuff, come and join me on Patreon. Thanks a lot, people, and I hope you enjoyed this little adventure, this little different content to what you're used to. You're used to seeing me on a big screen or in one of your little devices. But this time, it's just a voice, it's just a feeling, it's just a thought. So thanks again, people, and I'll see you again whenever the adventure awaits.